The next question is solved by the method of our choice. So I look at 6a, and there's really two ways you can solve 6a. First off, I notice there's no middle term. And when there's no middle term, I know that when I would do my box, all right, if I have that, I know these two boxes are going to cancel out. So they have to be equal and opposite. So given a choice, I'm probably going to factor this one is going to be my method. And we can see that to get the first expression equal to 0, I would need x is equal to 7. And for the second one, I would need x is equal to negative 7. However, you could also solve this by square roots. I don't have a ton of room, so I apologize. X squared minus 49 equals 0. If I add 49 to both sides, I'm going to get x squared equals 49. And then I can take the square root of both sides and get x equals plus or minus 7. You just have to remember there's two solutions. Factoring is an advantage because it automatically kicks out the two solutions. So when I look at 6b, I notice there's no constant term. So square root's not going to be a good way to go here. So you have factoring or quadratic formula. There's nothing wrong with quadratic formula either for 6a or 6b. For 6a, going back to this, there's no b term, so b is 0. So you can just plug in 0 for b everywhere it shows up. And for this one, you can plug in c is 0 everywhere c shows up in the quadratic formula. However, the quickest way is really using GCF factoring. I noticed that both terms have a GCF of 4x. So I can pull a 4x out, and that leaves an x and a 2. And I can check that if I distribute it back. 4x times x is 4x squared. 4x times 2 is 8x. Now that I have that, I know that the second part, if x is negative 2, that makes it equal to 0. And here, if x is 0, that makes that part of the expression equal to 0. So my answers are just 0 and negative 2. But again, you can use any method, except 6b square roots won't really work.